Grand rise, grand rising. Divine rise, blessed be to your day. May it be everything you require to create everything you desire.
Divine rise, blessed be to your day, grand rising. Some of y'all need a good morning because you're not letting go of what you were. You're still trying to hold on to what you were. Last night, during the God hour, the God hour is now on Wednesday nights. I like the flow of Wednesday. I like the flow on a Wednesday night. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're doing the God hour. Last night, I did a reading, and I did a couple of readings. I did a couple of readings, and then I did a few readings last night, and I did general reading. So I might do a general reading after we do this. But no hard feelings. That's what you need to start telling yourself whenever you're faced with. One of the things that I learned to tell myself when I'm going through current work right now in that space, it has become easier for me to say is no hard feelings. No hard feelings. I am choosing alignment over constriction. A lot of times for us, we have that hard time in saying no hard feelings. I'm choosing alignment because alignment is myself over constriction. And we stay in that narrative of our self-sabotage. We stay in that narrative of the fear of rejection. We stay in that false narrative of ourselves. We stay within the shadows. Of the inner child. We stay within the shadows of the inner child. We don't get into that a little bit later. But I wanted to get into no hard feelings. No hard feelings. You have to give yourself that space to where you're able to say no hard feelings. You have to be able to put yourself into a space mentally, emotionally, as you're cultivating your spiritual stamina, getting your spiritual stamina up. You have to be able to say no hard feelings. No hard feelings. I'm choosing alignment over constriction. The things that once constricted me, I'm no longer allowing to hold my energy and my power. The things that used to constrict me, the things that used to constrict me, I'm no longer allowing their presence to keep me held to an old identity. One of the craziest parts that I've came into doing this healing work, doing counseling, doing therapy, is we can get stuck in what we were. We can get stuck in the memories of what we were. We can get stuck in the good times of what we were. A lot of times, one of your hardest steps when you're coming out of this identity, you're removing these masks, you're addressing yourself, you're being honest with yourself, is removing that it's just there. You're like, but I didn't know that was we. The first thing that the first thing I give my clients is a list of aspects of you got to let go of this, and this. And then I explain why we have to start removing certain things. Because if you haven't defined what that's for, then what is its purpose? In order to define what its purpose is, we must first remove it from ourselves. We must take that mask off. I've done that with plenty of times with the mask. We got to take that mask off. We got to take those old thought processes off and allow ourselves to sit with ourselves. A lot of times I'm noticing the biggest thing for people is when they come to me for guided meditation or you come to me for a consultation or a reading, it's usually always the same things. They're not allowing themselves to sit with it. They're meditating, but they're not allowing themselves to sit with the energy. They're acknowledging their shadows, but they're not allowing themselves to sit there with the energy. They're learning how to vocalize in healthier ways, but they're not sitting with the response. They're waiting. They're still triggered in the reaction. A lot of these aspects, these are the self-sabotage. These are the self-sabotage aspects that we love to do. We'll go somewhere and we have in our mind that I'm not deserving of any. It goes to that root. I'm not deserving of anything good to happen. Or every time something good does happen in my life, it's always followed by this. But you're still going into that old memory. You're going into that memory bank. You're going into that trauma savings. You're going into your reserves. And you're pulling out that one memory of when something didn't go right for you. And you're still living out that memory. That one time you was on the run. That one time that you were on the run when you were younger. So now you're in your adult phase and now you're always on the run. You're still in that same pattern. You're still in that same pattern. But now you're just simply trying to create your environment to match that. This is why I'm always on the run. Now you're trying to define you being on the run. You got to go back and define why you were on the run in the first place. You got to go back and define the reason why you were set in that position in the first place. No hard feelings. I'm about alignment. I'm no longer about constriction. I'm choosing alignment over constriction. If I have to put myself in a position, this is the healing work. If I'm in a position to where I am time. Just use this example. I am time. I am healing. I am the transformation. I am the healing. I am the rising. This is what I am. So now that I'm addressing, that I'm aligning with me being time. Everything that's going to come up is everything that I used to BS over, everything that I used to procrastinate with, everything that I used to put off, everything that I allowed to come into my space to constrict me from becoming the most valuable asset to me in the reflection of my time. Alignment over constriction. You want to come into that new space. As I said yesterday, your opportunity is a reflection of your space. Your opportunities are a reflection of your space. Your opportunities are a reflection of your space. That's what it is. So is your space based on what you were? Is your space based on what you were? Or where you are going? Or where you want to be? Or where you want to go? How are you in your space? Because I said this last night in the God Hour. It sounds nice for you to say to yourself, because I used to say the same shit to myself, so don't feel bad for it. You got to be gentle with yourself. It feels good to say that when I get here, I'm going to do this. When I get this, I'm going to go do this. When I get that bag, then I'm going to go do this. When I get this opportunity, soon as you had the thought, that was your opportunity. Soon as you had the thought, that was your opportunity. Soon as you had your thought about an opportunity, that was your opportunity. We always look for the external to match the internal instead of allowing the internal to change the perception of our external. The moment that you had that thought about a new opportunity, that was your chance. That was your opportunity. How are you going to cultivate from that thought by honoring that thought and allow yourself to move forward? Instead of sitting there in that space, because a lot of us like to sit in the space, well, when I get to this, then I'm going to do this. I'm going to say it because I've said it before many times. If I waited for somebody to say to me, if I waited for somebody to say to me, like, yo, you should do a podcast. You should do a YouTube channel. You should do that clothing joint. You should do this. You should do this. I would always be aspiring to fit to fit their perception. I would do whatever. I would be aspiring to fit their perception. Because if I allowed them to say it in that point, this is about you validating yourself first. if I allow others to validate me before I validate myself, if I allow others to validate me, I'm always going to be stuck in a space of constriction. If I always allow others to validate me, that means I depend on their validation. I have to address, why am I stuck in that phase? Why am I stuck in that space? It's very hard sometimes. We make things seem so fucking complex. Oh shit, go away. We make things seem so complex in that space of just simply being what we need to be. That opportunity. We allow our negative self-talk to stop us. We allow our negative self-talk to stop us from literally seizing the opportunity. The opportunity, you know you are in an opportune space when you have the thought about it. How are you honoring that original thought? How are you honoring the thought? No hard feelings. I'm choosing alignment over constriction. Everything in your space is a reflection, is reflected by the opportunities based on your thoughts. So you have this opportune moment right now. You got the opportunity right now to be the best. But you have to address your space. See how it goes right back internal? You have the opportunity to be the best version of you at every moment, at every minute of every second of every minute of every hour of every day. You have the opportunity to be the best. But you have to address your space. And why is your space not the reflection? Until your space reflects you being the best version of you, you ain't gonna get that new ass. You ain't gonna get that new energy. You ain't gonna be able to benefit off that new energy. You ain't gonna be able to sit there, you know what? Ooh, I'm feeling that vibe right now. I'm about to go do this. And then you're going to be constricting your flow. You're always going to be constricting your flow. You're always going to look for that shadow. You're always going to have that mental block. You don't know how to address the mental blocks that you have because you're not honoring your thoughts. It's similar to, one of the best ways for me to explain it is, think about it like this. We were taught to eat 3 meals a day. We were taught to eat 3 meals a day. I'm about to post that video a little later. We were taught to eat 3 meals a day. 3 meals. Usually, when it comes to eating a meal, you know you gotta sit your ass down. You know you gotta get your fork out. You gotta sit down and be comfortable to enjoy that meal. Or you gonna be on a run and you sitting in the car, or you sitting on the car, you sitting on the bus, however you getting to where you need to get to, and now you sitting there in a rush. So you now broke your fast. You already broke your fast. You're not flowing. You're constricting yourself in the beginning. So think about that. 3 meals out, you eat 3 meals a day. Let's say you eat 3 meals a day. Not everybody eats 3 meals a day, usually now in today's aspect, but you eat 3 meals out a day. That's 7 days a week, 3 meals a day. That's 21 meals. You're supposed to have three movements. You're supposed to have at least 2 to 3 shits a day. You're supposed to say 2 to 3 shits a day. You're supposed to be on a regular pattern of 2 to 3 shits a day. 2 to 3. 2 to 3. They can be in one succession, or they can be out throughout the day. But if I'm sitting here in a space with myself, we're breaking down constriction. If I'm sitting in a space with myself and I ate breakfast, I didn't drink no water after breakfast, I drank juice or whatever. So I broke my fast. So now my body trying to burn that out, and it sits on my stomach. Now it's time for me to eat lunch, because the trigger, my original trigger of the program or the memory it's between 12 and 3. I need to go eat lunch. So now I go get something else and put it on my stomach. So now dinner time comes. Oh, it's time to really throw down. And now you eat dinner. So you ate 3 meals in that day. you only shit once. You only shit once, and that was like after lunch. I want you to think about it like this. This is constriction. Because those 3 meals from Monday, since we're in Thursday now, those 3 meals from Monday, only one of those meals passed on Tuesday. That means only, if we follow this same line, that means on Tuesday, when Tuesday comes, when Monday came, that means from Sunday or Saturday, one of those meals passed from Monday. That means on Tuesday, you're still passing the meals from Sunday. That means on Wednesday, the 3rd day, you're still passing the last meal from Sunday. You ain't even passed the meals from Monday yet. You ain't even passed the meals from Monday yet. Think about that. You ain't even passed the meals from Monday yet. So here comes Thursday, and you just now passed your first meal from Monday. And then you go to your Friday. Then you go to your Saturday. Then you complete this cycle over and over and over again because it made you feel good. But in reality, as I break down, when I talk about them, when I get into Occult Alchemy Health, my day starts with a water-based pre-workout that's all natural that I put together. Almost 3 bottles of water. And then I got this water every 2 days. And then in between those 3 days, I got a detox regimen. A detox that I'm putting into my system throughout that workout. But I don't eat until after 12 o'clock. What does that allow me to do now that I don't eat till... Now, what does that allow me to do now that I'm only eating after 12? My first meal, the first solid food to hit my stomach is after 12. My body's fully awake. My body is fully awake. My body is fully primed. My body is fully awake. My body is fully primed. My body is fully ready to disperse and do what it needs to do. Now think about what I just said. I'm up at 5 a.m. 5 a.m., 15-minute meditation, 30 push-ups, get ready to the gym, head to the gym. I'm at the gym until about 7:45. If I got to go make some stops, I make some stops. Then I'm back in here to start my line of builds, and then getting into whatever I need to get into. And then everything done up until 12. With all of that opportunity in my space, how do I use it? With all of the opportunity in your space, how do you use it? How do you feel it? You have the same opportunity to be fucking great that I do. You have the same opportunity to be fucking amazing as I do. Not to be as me, but you can learn the methods. This is what we have to start looking at with ourselves. In our space, if somebody is seizing the day, you always seeing somebody up and out and about you just see them out and about like, damn, what time do they wake up? It looks foreign to you. That's your opportunity passing you by. When you're going into this space with no hard feelings, it's time for you to come into that alignment with yourself in understanding and defining what is true to you. Not true to the identity that you try to maintain. Not true to the identity or the aspiration of keeping within a trend, keeping within a certain thought process, keeping those old thought forms of living. This is your time to become time. This healing work, you going through your healing process is you will know when you're going through your healing process, and you will know what level you are at based on your level of constriction. You got brain fog. You feeling like, oh my God, I can't never get ahead. I can't do this, and this. You telling yourself all these things, so then your ego automatically goes to go search for the answer based on what's in the subconscious. And now you sitting there in that space with yourself, and you like, but I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I tried to do this, and I tried to do that, and I wanted to do this, and I wanted to do that, and I tried to do that shit. Stop telling yourself you're gonna try. First thing. Stop telling yourself what you want. Second thing. The more that you want, the more that you want, you must define what you need. It must come from the definition of what you need. The more that you want, the more sediment, the more blockages that you're going to acknowledge into your space. The more that you want, is going to fill your space. Fill up that space. That's going to fill up your space. That's going to be the reflection of your opportunity. So now you get stuck in the trends of comfort. No hard feelings. You get stuck in that comfort zone. A lot of us get stuck in that space with ourselves where we're looking at others' comfort of the old self as our sign of, ooh, that's where I'm at. Yay, they getting some good, yay. And you'll get stuck in somebody else's comfort. What's meant for you is meant for you. What's meant for you is not inside comfort. You already did that. What's meant for you is not inside of that comfort zone. You've already done that. This is why when a lot of us put ourselves into a space and we lose consistency or we lose our disciplines, the first thing that we get stuck within and with ourselves is sitting there in that space because we're like, you know what? But this worked the first time. Maybe I can apply this to that. Not inside the comfort zone. You can apply any knowledge that you want to apply to anything that you want to apply it to. But if you're only applying it to comfort, or if you're only applying it to the mask, if you're only applying it to the identity, it never hits the source. You never get the full feel. You stuck trying to chase that. You trying to chase that high. That's what a lot of people do when they get things. You chasing a high. You chasing that high. You chasing this thrill to be alive instead of creating that within yourself. Instead of taking that first hour of your day, the most influential aspect and impactful day, part of your day is the first hour that you wake up. What do you do with it? I've said it before. You have 24 hours. You don't have 24 hours in a day. You don't have 24 hours in a day. If you wake up at 4 a.m., you have the max of 20 hours in a day. You got to be real with yourself. So when you hear everybody got the same 24 hours, no, you don't. You do, but you don't. When you wake up, that's when your clock starts. Are you going to become the time, or are you going to allow the time to become? Are you going to allow the time to run you? When you wake up, that's when your clock starts. When you wake up, how are you waking up? What's the first thought on your mind? Is it negative or is it positive? If it's negative, how are you transmuting it into the positive source? How are you talking to yourself when you first get up? How are you talking to yourself when you go to sleep? What are you allowing to talk to you when you go to sleep? Before you go to sleep? I made a post yesterday night after the show, and I was thinking about the aspects of the only thing that I listen to before I go to bed is, if it's not meditation music, it's an audio book or I'm reading some shit. I'm no longer in constriction. I only want alignment. No hard feelings. No hard feelings. You're going to be the fucking best. No hard feelings. You desire to be the best. No hard feelings. You desire to be the best. No hard feelings. You're choosing alignment over constriction. No hard feelings. Stop fitting. The only reason that the box keeps being put on you, or people keep trying to put you inside of a box, is because the identity that you hold fits that box. Let go of the identity. Take off the mask. Acknowledge that child. Acknowledge the shadows of the inner child. It's child's play once you get it. It's child's play once you get it. And that's what we're getting into tomorrow night. Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Gotta Go Alchemist. The YouTube channel. We're getting into child's play. The shadows of the inner child. We don't get into this deep work from, this is going to be a 3-part act. This is going to be a 3-part series, 3-part lecture series. We're going to get into child's play, the shadows of the inner child. And then we're going to move up. We don't, Calvin's got a job. But I want you to be the greatest. I want you to be the fucking best. I want you to expand. I want you to expire. I want you to be inspired. Don't aspire to stay the same. Be inspired to change the influence. When there's things around you not influencing you, that's when you got to adjust your aspects to that alignment. Everybody ain't meant to come the way you come. Everybody ain't meant to be on the same wavelength at the same time. So start trying to force them. Step back, become the observer. Learn. I want you to be the best. I love you. We love us. Ashe.